I would like to clarify the Electric Universe's stance on star evolution for the reader. For my audience, I don't think they're aware of this because in a lot of the videos and a lot of the literature in the Electric Universe, they never mention the fact that they believe that stars do not evolve. And we know they don't believe this because the Electric Universe both does away with a thermonuclear model of the sun, and inside of the thermonuclear model of the sun, they have the stars evolving. But it's a very strange evolutionary path that the establishment has them on. So what we have here is that establishment science has the basic concept of, well, stars evolve, correct, but they do not have a correct path for their evolution. So they're both right and wrong at the same time. But Electric Universe, they say, well, since the stars don't evolve on the thermonuclear model along those lines, and that theory is false, then they probably don't evolve at all. And that is a huge issue because in Electric Universe, they say stars do not evolve. And I know this because they accept a different idea. It says here, internal electrostatic forces prevent stars from collapsing gravitationally and occasionally cause them to give birth by electrical fissioning to form companion stars and gas giant planets. That right there says a lot. It means that to form a Jupiter-sized object, they came from the sun. Or, to form something like Earth, it came from Jupiter. To form something like Venus, for instance, like Velikovsky told people that it was ejected from Jupiter, which I don't think is a good theory. But that being said, here's a little chart, and we have both stars and planets on there. And in the top you have something is wrong. Now, the green is establishment's version. The yellow is stellar metamorphosis, and the orange is where Electric Universe sits. Now, if you'll notice, what happens is they have planet formation as real. Yes, planets are formed as individual constructs, and stellar evolution is real. But what establishment does is say, no, the star evolves, and that's about it. It has no connection to planets whatsoever over here. As well, you'll have planets up here being formed, and then they say, well, those planets formed in disks. So they have disks forming planets, and then they have stars over here, and they're completely disconnected from each other. And what Electric Universe does is, well, they don't want to go the establishment's route, so they both deny that stars even evolve, so they branch off down here and say, well, the stars don't evolve. They're externally electrically powered. And what that does is also keep stars as mutually exclusive of planets, because to them, stars eject planets. So they're even further off the mark. Instead, we should have went with establishment, but realizing that they only had the basics down, and then we were supposed to connect planet formation down to star evolution, and boom, you have it. The planet is the evolved star, but I think that's a useful way of looking at things here. And we know this because we can fit all of them on a single graph. Check it out. There they are. They're born, they expand, and then they cool, shrink, and die and collapse upon themselves, forming what are called planets. It's all a single line of evolution. Now, in Electric Universe, they don't like this idea. To them, a star can jump all around the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram depending on what source of power is doing, what their source of power is doing to the star. Mind you, they never say where this source of power is located. They never say, well, it's from stars themselves. Well, if stars are their own source of power, then they were independent structures anyways, and the whole argument collapses on itself again. But I don't know. They don't want to admit that. I guess they just want to take the same road as establishment does, is dig in and defend their ideas at whatever cost without acknowledging other ideas. So, in a nutshell, establishment in this regard only has one thing better, but that one thing is infinitely better than electric universes, the fact that stars evolve. They're not these things that are just going to jump around in the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram. They're going to cool and collapse, and they're going to die. It's basic thermodynamics. They're open systems. They're going to lose mass, they're going to lose energy, and all the heavy material is collected in the center, forming what are called planets. Alright, y'all. Hopefully that clarifies things up a little bit. I just wanted to make this video because a lot of the electric universe stuff, they sort of have a contrarian viewpoint, and they take it to the max sometimes. They take that contrarian viewpoint a little too far. So, you know, it's good to think like that, just to search for ideas, but to take a contrarian viewpoint and just rail on it, you know, constantly without, you know, looking at the big picture and trying to readjust, I don't think that's a good approach. Alright, y'all, take it easy.